All right, there they are, nice and crispy. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing something a little bit different. Instead of vlogging all day or doing like a mom type video, I'm gonna show you just a little snippet of what I'm making for dinner. I'm gonna share this recipe with you. It's our favorite recipe for wings actually, and they're not fried or anything like that. So they're a little healthier than the alternative. They're not breaded or anything like that. So let's just get right into it. My inspiration from this actually came from the Next Food Network star. I've been obsessed with that show lately, and not that I'm gonna like have a show on Food Network anytime soon, but I just really like how they like share their ideas and recipes, and this one is definitely a winner, and so I think you guys will like it too. Okay, so first I'm gonna show you the ingredients that I'm gonna use in these wings. It's super simple, as you can see, like 6 ingredients. First, we just have some garlic powder. Then we have the Smokehouse Maple Seasoning. This is by McCormick. There we go. And then I just have some honey, Dijon, and soy sauce. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this huge, what is this, a gallon, 5 gallon? I don't know, the biggest Ziploc bag I can find. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour my wings in there. So make sure too, a little safety tip is when you're handling anything chicken, make sure to try not to touch it. If you do, wash your hands really well. Don't touch it with any other like utensils, because chicken is super yuck, like a contaminant or whatever. Especially with the baby, I don't like to risk getting the juice anywhere. And so I always make sure to throw this stuff away right away. So for us, I'm gonna go ahead and this is 3 pounds of wings. Not saying that we'll eat them all or anything like that, but I like to make plenty, so if we have leftovers, you can kind of judge by your family and the size how many you need to make. But I found that the 2 packages of 1.5 pounds is usually a good number, so we have a few extra. Okay, so now I have my wings in my bag, and I'm gonna get a separate bowl and then mix all the ingredients for the sauce in that bowl. Okay, so I have my bowl here, just any regular size bowl you want. I'm gonna take my honey, let it sit upside down for a minute because it's all stuck at the top. And so that way it can kind of get itself down. This is low sodium soy sauce, by the way. You can use whatever you have. I'm gonna put in this bowl about 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. And this will replace any salt that we would ever use, so we won't put any salt in the recipe. Then we'll take your garlic powder and about a solid tablespoon of that. I'm not measuring anything because I've made this recipe so many times that I can just kind of eyeball it, and I know. And then I'm gonna take, usually I use a half of a jar of this Smokehouse Maple. Right now I have about 1/4, so I'm gonna have to get another one out. We use this on everything, and so I always have this on hand. And this is kind of the base of the recipe, and so I make sure that I use quite a bit. Okay, so again, I'm gonna use now about like to this line, since I had 1/4 in the other. And that's good. So I'll set this to the side, but you can leave it out because at the very end you might want to sprinkle a little bit more on there. And then I'm gonna take my Dijon, and I'm gonna do about 2 tablespoons of this. This recipe is actually something that my mother-in-law and I made up, kind of. Well, she really made it up. I've just copied her several times, and we've made it a ton between the 2 of us. The guys love this. Everyone that we make it for loves it. We have these at like the lake and parties and things, and it's always a huge hit. All right, and if you don't want to use honey, or if you have like an allergy or anything like that, you can use pure maple syrup, or brown sugar is also a great alternative. Okay, so now I have all my ingredients in here. I'm just gonna mix them all together until it's nice and even. If it's too thick, you can add in a little bit of water. That's gonna help make it a consistency that can stick on the wings, but you want it to be a little bit thick so that it's not just running everywhere. So I actually think I won't have to add water here. Okay, so now I'm gonna have my bag of wings, and I'm gonna go ahead and just pour in my seasoning. And you might want to get like a little spatula out and be sure that you can scrape it all in there so you're not wasting any. Because trust me, you're gonna want all of it on there. So now our sauce is in the bag. So you're gonna zip it up nice and tight and then just squish it everywhere. If you have kids, this would be a great time to get them helping. They could definitely measure 2 tablespoons. That's super easy. But if they weren't really into that, you could definitely have them smushing around. It's a lot of fun, and it's really like, I don't know, it feels like weird, I guess. Okay, so now I have my wings nicely coated. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and pop this whole bag in the refrigerator and let them hang out for about 30 minutes. So that seasoning and sauce has plenty of time to absorb into the chicken, so it's flavorful all the way through. Okay, so I have my chicken in the fridge, and I'm gonna go ahead and clean up all this stuff, leaving out the smokehouse maple and the honey. The honey we're gonna drizzle on at the very end and then broil it so it's nice and crispy and crunchy, so you kind of get that feeling of having a fried wing. You're gonna get that same effect from using that honey at the end and then broiling it. Okay, so my meat has had plenty of time to marinate in the refrigerator, and so I went ahead, I just added some asparagus and broccoli to my pan, and I just put aluminum foil down so it won't stick all over my pan. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my wings now and pour them out. And then you want to squeeze as much of the sauce as you can out on top. Okay, so then I'm going to take my tongs and I'm just going to spread them out nice and evenly so they all have a good even chance of cooking. You don't want them to be even close to undercooked because that is a definite no-no with chicken. Okay, so now you can kind of see what I have going here in the pan. I have my broccoli, asparagus, and this will all go in a 400-degree oven for 30 minutes. And we'll take this smokehouse maple seasoning again and go ahead and just give it one final layer. This will make sure you get it nice and flavorful. This seasoning, I've said it 5 million times by now, but it is the game changer of the whole dish. And I even did put it on my asparagus and my broccoli already. So now I'm gonna pop this in the oven. And then we'll put these in for 30 minutes. And then after that, the 30 minutes is gonna be up, and we will pop them out. We will take the honey and have it, I'll kind of have it a little bit melted, like just heat it in the microwave. That way it drizzles really nicely. So I'll drizzle it on top, and then I will broil it for about 3 minutes on high. So I'll see you in 30. Okay, so it's been 30 minutes now. I'm gonna go ahead and get my wings out of the oven, and then I'm gonna put on my honey and let them broil a minute. So here we go. Okay, so here's what they look like straight out of the oven. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spread them out a little bit here, and I'll turn them over too, because at this point you wanna flip them because that other side has all the seasoning, well, a lot of it. So we wanna make sure this side gets some. Okay, so and I did rip one of these chicken legs open to make sure it was all the way done, which it was. So you want to make sure the chicken is not pink at all. And then I have my honey. It's nice and liquefied from being heated up. And I will just drizzle a little bit on each wing. Then we're going to go ahead and take it and pop them back in the oven for about 3 minutes. Just pay really close attention to them so they don't burn. But they will get nice and crispy. 3 to 5 minutes, I would say. Alright, there they are, nice and crispy. Alright, that's all I have for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe and this kind of like switch up I had going. Make sure you let me know in the comments below if you did enjoy it, and I can certainly make more of these videos. Also, be sure to subscribe for more, and let me know if you make this recipe. I want to see it and I want to know how it turned out for you. Until then, we'll see you next time. Bye. What are you doing, camera? Come on, bud. You can come in. Because then it's hard to cook, or hard to clean, I guess. Buffalo Wild Wings are out at like a sports bar. I don't know. I'm gonna let, what is it called? Right? That you love having it, like a tape measure?